Hello, I am Pete, and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas Recharger Weapons Only. In this episode, we're going to be trekking towards Ranger Station Echo. You can see the marker on the compass pointing us where to go. It's a little bit of a walk. I think I'm going to take it moderately cross-country-ish. I don't think there's a direct route that I can walk from there, from here to there rather. But I think that if I kind of go through this gap and around the left side of this little mountain, that will work quite nicely. I'm anticipating a small amount of resistance, probably gecko-based, but that's fine. We have our MF Hyperbreeder Alpha. We have our awesome kind of cowboy-ish garb. I didn't start this video series intending to have this aesthetic. Obviously, the recharger weapon was a plan. But this is just where I've ended up. This is where it seems to work. The duster came first, and then the hat just fits in with that nicely. I'm about to be accosted.
Hold up there. This area is locked down by the NCR military until we can dislodge some Legion snakes from Nelson.
The name's Rich Urger. I regret this name. I made this name before I decided that this character was going to be female. I mean, no reason why Rich can't... Let's lean into this. Rich is now a female name. The name's Rich Urger.
Oh, heck. I've heard of you. Supposed to be a regular hero or something, ain't that right? But maybe you're a little too reputable to get involved in some dirty work for the Republic.
Are you interested in cracking jokes or getting something done?
Well, I'll be damned. Looks like you've got some dirt in you after all. If you had a few dozen doses of Psycho on you, maybe we could pep those weepy troopers into charging down into Nelson and taking back the camp. But since that's not likely, you could help me take out the Legion's trooper hostages.
Don't you have the authority to command the troopers to go into the camp?
I'm a ranger. They're troopers. Different branches. I don't have authority over them even though they're as green as a super mutant's backside. Besides, they'd probably start crying as soon as they saw the hostages get so much as a bruise. Nope, they don't got the stomach for it.
I don't think I can help you, sorry.
That's a shame. Well, let me know if you change your mind, or those Legion sons of bitches will be holed up in Nelson for weeks.
Goodbye.
Hey, hold on. Just so you know, if you go down into that camp, one of two things is gonna happen. Either that little head of yours is gonna sail into the Colorado courtesy of a Legion machete, or they're gonna try to make friends with you. And if I find out you're friends with the Legion, I'll put a lump of lead through your skull as soon as you pop it back up over the ridge. Are we clear?
Understood.
Much obliged.
Yeah, I don't have interest in taking on this quest right now. I don't have interest in going down into that village and making friends with the Legion. I just wanted to get through this checkpoint so that I could come round to the right here. So that's what I'm doing, and no one's going to stand in my way. I'm also going to take this opportunity to introduce our sponsor for this episode. This episode is sponsored by Taxis. Oh no, hold on. I misread that. It's AAA Taxis. Easy mistake to make. Okay, we have a beeline for a ranger station. I'm not seeing the tower on the horizon yet, but I will eventually. Is this a good way to go down? Have a little bit of tobacco. And let's just make our way kind of vaguely around the hills. It's a nice area to explore. Oh, there we go. There's the tower. No sign of hostiles. Oh, no, there is a hostile there. Fire gecko. I told you there'd be geckos. Right, these things are actually... Oh, I'm in danger already. Which one's seen me? This one and that one. Okay. That's good. I was really worried that these would take a few shots to go down, but they seem to be pretty squishy. There's another one coming in. You know what? For changes these, we're going to get the MF Power Breeder Delpha out. Headshot. That didn't go well. I don't have any AP. That shot landed better. And it burst. Changing weapon there might not have been a great idea. Not great at all. I feel like this weapon probably isn't ideal against... I'm not sure what this weapon is ideal against. So this episode is added by a mod. I found it in the RepCon test site. And I haven't managed to make much use out of it. It feels like something that's got a lot of potential. Right, I want to get up to that building up there. There's a speech skill book that I want. I think I need to go round to the right to get there. I might find myself encountering more geckos. Oh, yeah, I thought I heard something. I'm in danger. Okay, that's a low chance to hit. I feel like I'm going to use this as a shotgun. Wait until they get reasonably close. Oh, that's awful. That's awful. This thing is so slow to recharge. It's no good for close quarters combat. We need to get the MF Hyper Reader back out. I need to run away. Stop crouching. Stop pressing buttons, Pete. Oh, stop it. Okay, get some distance. Oh, that's close. Why am I putting myself through this? Why am I using weapons that are no good instead of weapons that are good? Why don't I just use this one all the time? It's clearly all that I need. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This series it's not had quite the amount of diversity that I would have hoped. It's got a lot more invisible walls. But yeah, once I got the MF Hyperbreeder Alpha, that was kind of it. That was the only weapon I needed. I should heal up, actually. Let's eat something delish. Sunset Sarsaparilla, I think, actually. That's one of my favourite things for consuming out of combat to get a bunch of hit points back. Let's take 3 of them. That'll top us out. Yeah, the MF Hyperbreeder Alpha, it's just... Is it OP? It's basically all you need. It is such an all-purpose kind of recharger weapon. You don't really need anything else. So, you know, I think... Hello, yes, Fire Gecko is not just a name, it's a thing you do as well. Fire by name, fire by... Oh, another one. By nature. What was I saying? Yeah, once you have this, I think fire geckos are fighting against the Legion there. Once you have this weapon, it is basically the only recharger weapon that is worth having. It would have been nice if maybe it was a bit more context sensitive, so that there were scenarios under which other recharger weapons would outperform it. But no, that it is the only one. Okay, I'm here for a speech skill book. I actually don't come into Lucky Jim Mine very often. Most playthroughs, what I end up doing is I actually just skip this entirely because it's not worth the detour for the sake of a single speech skill book. But on this occasion I was coming past anyway, so I might as well drop in. Now the consequence of this is I don't really know where this speech skill book is. Oh, there it is. Brilliant. So, Lion Congressional Style. We'll also read this duck and cover that we picked up at another ranger station in the previous episode. And then let's keep pressing on towards that one up there. There was some activity I saw down here. Looked like probably a fire gecko fighting against a legionary. But I might decide that's none of my business. This looks like an unclimbable... Oh, well, it's my business now. Fortunately, this fire gecko has been a little bit softened up by the battle that it had with someone else down here. There is probably a body to loot. But I'm not seeing it, so who cares? Now, can I get to this ranger station from where I am at the moment? I'm seeing some pretty steep slopes. And game says no. I'm going to try a little bit of mountain goating. Sometimes this works. And just hump the walls and see if you can find a hole to insert yourself into. Yeah, I know that sounded rude, and I leaned into it. Oh, we're here. Ah, so the tower up there is quite a long way away from the actual base itself, isn't it? Come, Officer Green.
Gotta wonder what the hell a civilian is doing here.
I have updated radio security codes from Sergeant Reyes here.
What, again? Didn't I just change those damn things? All right, fine. Show me the new codes.
What is this place?
Ranger military outpost. We're keeping an eye on the Legion activities south of here at Cottonwood Cove. Nothing going on down there at the moment. Just the usual slave trafficking. Poor bastards.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yep. So, we now enter the really fun fetch questy bit of this quest, which is we need to head back to Sergeant Reyes, let her know the radio security upgrade is complete, and at that point she will then send us out to all of these ranger stations another time. How delightful. It's going to be fast travel-orific. But first, let's talk to Reyes.
Welcome back.
All of the ranger stations have been given the new security codes.
Glad to hear it. I'll switch over all radio broadcasts to the new encrypted channels. This ought to help us stay a step ahead of any spies. Before you go, I've got another job available.
And what else did you need me to do?
We've received some disturbing reports from some of the ranger stations. Heavy casualties at Alpha, super mutant legionaries at Delta. The weirdest one has to be the Great Khans and their trained death claws at Foxtrot. These reports can't be accurate, can they? I know you've already been out there, but could you do me a solid and confirm these reports with the rangers who sent them in?
Yeah, lovely, can't wait. I'll investigate and let you know what I find out about those odd reports.
Thank you, and good luck.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I mean, the thought occurs, I could just pop text Sergeant Reyes in the noggin right now, and then I wouldn't have to do this quest. So, there's that. No, I'm not going to do it. Actually, oh, that's interesting. I don't have to go back to all of... Why did I think I needed to go back to all of the ranger stations? I only need to go back to 3 places as part of this. I'm now doubting my memory. Is this a change introduced by a mod, possibly? Don't know. Either way, not as much fast travelling required here as I originally worried, so let's get this done. Okay. So it's not the same person I need to speak to. It's someone who is just a little bit to the left of where I am right now. This ranger.
This is a military outpost. Why are you here?
Sergeant Reyes sent me. She's curious about the high casualties at this station.
High casualties? We've had one broken ankle, but nobody at this post has died.
How could Reyes have been wrong?
There are other ranger posts around. Reyes might have mixed up the report.
Okay. Maybe you're lying to keep morale up.
Do a fucking head count then. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Reyes got the numbers wrong. Not much more to it than that.
Okay, goodbye.
So long.
So that's done. Where to next? This one up in the hills, Foxtrot. All this fast travelling around is, it's going to be making us hungry and thirsty a little bit.
This area isn't safe for civilians. You don't want to get caught by the Great Khans.
I need to confirm your report about Great Khans with trained death claws.
You must be mistaken. I haven't filed any report like that. Trained death claws? I would have remembered that. If someone is saying I filed that report, that's a load of crap. I won't have my name attached to a clerical error.
Lenk told me her story.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. There was a lot of talk about expelling her from the Rangers, especially once the gambling and drinking started. Being posted here is her second and last chance, and so far, I'm not impressed. Link's jumpy all the time, and the others are sick of it.
What do you know about the Great Khans?
Tough, independent, and as ruthless as they come. They're holed up in Red Rock Canyon, and it's this station's job to keep an eye on them.
Okay, goodbye.
Be careful out there.
Here's a question. Can I get to the Great Khans from here? Is there a way through the hills that allows me to drop down? I'm curious and I want to know. So firstly, is there somewhere I can sleep? That's a table. Wouldn't be averse to sleeping on a table. All of these bedrolls are occupied at the moment. So I guess that's not going to happen. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take a little side journey. I'm going to try heading towards Red Rock Canyon. I'm going to see if this is passable. I mean, if you can't get to Red Rock Canyon from here, then that's going to make it really difficult for the Rangers to do their job to keep on them. To keep an eye on them, rather. But yeah, so far it's looking like we're going to be invisible walls all over. No, I've spent a couple of minutes humping all the walls in the dark. I cannot find a path through to Red Rock Canyon, so I have no idea how the Rangers do their duty to keep an eye on the Great Khans, but that is what it is. Okay, we can remove that fast travel marker. And now I'm going to head over to Ranger Station Delta to find out what the shindig is down there. So I guess there's a ranger wandering around here somewhere. Oh, I do quite like this spot. You get a nice overlook of the dam. Or at least you do when it's light. When it's dark, you see absolutely nothing.
No sudden moves and you and I will do all right. What do you want?
You filed a report which said Legion super mutants wiped out an NCR patrol.
No, I didn't. You might hear that kind of nonsense from a drunk trooper on the strip, but not from me. The Legion doesn't have super mutants. That patrol was wiped out by its own incompetence. A couple of the troopers were fooling around with a grenade when it went off.
Goodbye.
See you around.
So that didn't happen either. Let's just head down to this spot here and enjoy the lack of a view. There you go. Dam in the dark. Green water. Right, we need to go back to Camp Forlorn Hope and advance this quest. And hopefully it'll be light soon. I could just sleep.
Welcome back.
The Rangers' versions of the reports they sent to Camp Golf don't match what you received.
I knew it. Every one of the false reports was signed off by Chief Hanlon at Camp Golf. But why would the Chief manipulate the reports? I need you to take everything we found to Chief Hanlon and confront him with it. I don't want to make this public unless we have to.
Cool, goodbye.
Bye.
All right, and let's go over there. Don't think we have a fast travel to Camp Golf. Where's close? Ranger Station Alpha. That's close enough. Any hostiles here? Shouldn't be. Lovely. Now, we do have minor starvation, but I think we have a pocket full of snacks. Let's get some of our pocket meat out. Squirrel stew. Delicious squirrel. So I'm going to try and stay quite high on the land here. Are there any enemies on this little trek? I think probably not. But, you know, if there are, I welcome them. And at the risk of tempting fate, I am going to very, very cockily state I haven't died in this game for a while. So, yeah, bring it. I heard a weird noise. You know what I'd really like in this game is if there were, I'm going to say procedurally generated locations. It would be pretty cool if the underlying map was broadly constant between playthroughs, but then certain other locations could appear based on a seed. So, you know, during one playthrough you might see, I suppose Fallout 4 kind of has that to an extent with its settlement building, where you can create a sort of a slightly different world each time. But how cool would it be if you're just running through the world and you see a place that you've never seen before? It would obviously not have a lot of depth to it. You know, if there were any quests associated, they'd have to be the sort of Radiant quests that Fallout 4 had. But yeah, just an element of surprise. I'm conscious that I have replayed this game quite a lot of times, and the surprises that it can throw at me have definitely diminished, which you would expect. I do still sometimes find new places that I've never been to before, but increasingly rarely. Okay, so I came in here expecting to find a quest destination, and I didn't. Inform Chief Hanlon what you and Sergeant Reyes discovered. Is he outside at the moment, then? Maybe he's up on... Oh, he might be up on his balcony there. Okay, let's try going upstairs and out through that door. Yes, that's what the marker was pointing me towards. There are some skill magazines scattered around Camp Golf that I could do a bit of looting of.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs. The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up. But it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you?
So rude. I'm not going to be that rude. Maybe... I'm investigating some intel problems for Technical Sergeant Reyes.
Interesting that she would wrangle someone else into sorting out the problem. But I suppose you're in the right place. A lot of intel comes through here.
Do you know anything about the problems?
I don't know Technical Sergeant Reyes, but coordinating intel can be messy sometimes. Things get mixed up, people get confused. Heck, I get confused, and I've been doing this for a long time now. What he or she sees as a problem might be standard operating procedure. That's not to say Reyes is wrong for being concerned, but it's easy for the sand to get in your eyes out here.
Can you give me any advice?
Well, the logical thing to do is to check with the patrol rangers and comm officers. Don't be too discouraged if some things don't match up. Different people see different things, and sometimes the meaning gets twisted, lost in static from person to person.
How do you coordinate the intel?
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Gulf. Then I or one of the other rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field.
Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers?
Comm rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation.
Makes sense.
There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Gulf so we can verify and advise appropriately. Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel.
His mouth seems to be slightly transparent. When he opens it to talk, you can see the radio through it. Keep an eye out for that. Let's talk about something else.
Shoot.
Actually, no, maybe not. Maybe it's just his teeth. Right. Okay, so what happens if I goodbye out of here?
Adios.
Does my quest update in any way? No, still inform Chief Hanlon what you and Sergeant Reyes discovered. For a second there, I was worried that I was going to get sent off on another, not fetch quest exactly, but get sent off to all of the ranger stations to talk to them again, which was something I'd kind of been expecting at the previous stage of the quest that never showed up. Stuff that Hanlon was saying there did make me think he was about to say, go to all the ranger stations and check their thing against the other thing. But he didn't do that. We just need to talk to him and harass him, really.
You've come back to see the chief. Nice of you to humor the radio tender. What can I do for you?
I know you're the one who's been manipulating intelligence data.
Hold on. If we're going to have this conversation, let's go somewhere more private. Don't worry, not much bite left in this old dog.
Sure thing. Speak to him in his office. He will move fairly slowly. I might be able to give him a little bit of a push to speed his life along. Oh, I just drunk something. How did that happen? I just heard the drinking noise. Okay. Maybe we shared a beer together. That would be nice. I'm not sure that me pushing him is actually speeding him along at all. I love how he opens the door without his hands. Just kind of looks at it and it then pulls towards him, phasing through. I'm drinking again. What's going on there? Should I close the door?
Sorting and manipulating intelligence is what I do. It's what Rangers are supposed to do. This job isn't all gunfighting and gulping shots of whiskey, no matter what the boys and ladies out there say.
But you're inventing your own intelligence reports. I've seen the logs and talked to the Rangers.
You have you? Misdirection. When you're pinned down, outnumbered, and 2 days from any help. It's just about the best friend you can have. Misdirection's what saved me all these years. It's what saved us at Hoover Dam. But it's been 5 years now, and Caesar's right across that lake. He's closer now than he ever was before. I was a young man once. I know what it's like to want to fight for your home. But this isn't it.
Well, why did you do it? How does spreading false intel help anything?
People back home don't listen. They don't care. Senators, Brahmin barons, folks who are just trying to make it from day to day. It's been so many years that people forget about it. Conscription brings in fresh troops that die here every month, like it's routine. And even if we hold this dam, what then? Are we going to send the NCR's men and women to die here for another 5 years? 10? Patrol the whole length of the Colorado for hundreds of miles? Holding this dam, it'll be the death of us.
Why did you do it?
It's never going to end. This fight with Caesar. People back home don't know what these young men and women are in for. The Legion is the worst enemy we've ever faced. But we can't stop Caesar here. Not without getting a lot of good people killed. More than anyone cares to count up. But even if we do stop him, I don't see how we're ever going to be able to pull out.
And what do you think I should do about this?
First thing that comes to mind is to turn me in. But that might not be the best play, all things considered. Even if your heart's in the right place, I reckon it might do a lot more harm than good.
And what will you do if I don't turn you in?
Oliver can't stand that Rangers got credit for victory at Hoover. Whatever I recommend, he does the opposite. I said I wanted us on the ridge. He put them right on the western part of the dam itself. We don't have enough firepower to hold that spot. If the troopers fall back, and they will, the Rangers will advance to cover Oliver's retreat. We lose the dam, Oliver and the Senator are ruined.
What about you and the Rangers?
Rangers are volunteers. Every man and woman who signs up is willing to die for the NCR, myself included. A lot of this is my fault. It's only right that I stand with them.
You've convinced me. Your secret is safe.
I don't know if you're working for Caesar, or if desperation's made me a heck of a lot more persuasive. Either way, this is the right thing to do. Now, I trust we're done discussing this. I'm going to step through that door and pretend like we never had this talk.
Controlling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
And the quest is completed. And I'm leveled up. Let's close that door. He's struggling with it. Oh, and now he's frozen there. Level 16, we've got some skill points. We're going to need to choose a perk. How shall I go about this? I feel like I want to put loads into energy weapons. So lockpick is good. Don't need to do anything with that. Repair, I don't think I need to do anything with either. Don't really have much value for jury rigging. Maybe a bit more science. Yeah. So I'm thinking terminals. I'm thinking if we can get this up to 80 eventually, then that's all the terminals. Lots of sneak is good. Lots of energy weapons is good. Let's boost sneak by 5. And I'm going to put 1 into survival. No, energy weapons. Makes much more sense to put that spare into energy weapons. What have we got showing up in here? What are the new perks? Oh, action girl, an additional 50 points. Oh, better criticals. It's got to be better criticals. I love this perk so much. I basically always take this at level 16 if it shows up. And it always does, because I always have the right things to, the right special in order to enable it. Now, this is interesting. I'm just going to help Hanlon out there. Now, for some reason, I thought that this quest always ended in Hanlon committing suicide. That has not happened here. So, yeah, Hanlon lives. The false intel keeps getting sent out. And business continues as usual. I'm slightly worried about what's going to happen now when we end the game and we get the final slides, whether whether I've now really ruined stuff for some people. Oh well, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me for the next episode of Fallout New Vegas Recharge Your Weapons Only. Bye-bye.